Awarded Capital. I'm James Davis. Today we're breaking down a third-party property management RFQ from the Housing Authority of the City of Alameda. It's 905 units, 25 sites, 1 island. AHA doesn't operate like a traditional housing authority. Approximately 50 employees and a portfolio that functions more like a mid-sized nonprofit housing developer. LIHTC, home funds, project-based vouchers, and 155 units of permanent supportive housing, all layered on properties you can drive past in under 30 minutes. This is round one of a two-step solicitation. Qualifications only, no fee proposal. Responses are due April 24th at 5 p.m. Pacific. Contract starts September 1st. Our verdict is a conditional bid, and let's walk through why. First, we're going to go to the Awarded Capital website, and I'll give you a little more of an overview. So here we've got our unit counts, our April 15th pre-bid conference. That was non-mandatory, so if you missed it, it's okay. You can still bid on this one. A questions deadline of April 20th, and those are email only. I'll show you where to email those to. And a submission deadline of April 24th, 5 p.m. Pacific. And this is a single PDF. So if you're thinking about all of your attachments, you're going to want to combine those specifically into a single document. So this is not a single asset deal. It's layered funding, it's LIHTC, home, PBV. Every unit requires annual income certification, regardless of the funding source. So you'll want to make sure that you've got a strong compliance department if you're going to participate in this particular one. 3 property types really drive the work: large family and senior buildings, scattered sites housing spread across 9 properties, and there is a PSH, a permanent supportive housing structure, also built into this. Partial bids are welcome. There's a 252 unit minimum. The 5 LIHTC properties at 252 units may go to a single firm. PSH portfolio may be awarded separately. Round 1 is qualifications only, so there's no fee proposal, no pricing. Differentiation will happen in round 2. A couple complexity firms worth noting: the insurance schedule is 9 coverage lines, an umbrella at $5 million, E&O at $2 million. You'll want to make sure that you've got a good grasp of these and check with your provider to make sure that you either meet these requirements or can acquire them. 100% annual income certifications, every unit, every year. Again, we're going to need a strong compliance department in order to successfully operate this particular bid. We've seen what the makeup looks like on paper. Now let's look at it on a map. So we're going to go over to the map tab. And here are our properties. They're spread across the Alameda Island. We've got it broken down into 3 areas. If you want more specifics, you can, of course, zoom in and out here to see those addresses represented on the map. We've got a color code down here for the LIHTC home, conventional AHA, and PSH, all of those available here. So the West Alameda and Alameda Point properties, there's 8 of them. It's 469 units. It's about a mile across from one end to the other in this particular group. You can see many of our units are situated here in this West Alameda Point geographic area. Central Alameda, we've got 107 units, so this is a much lighter load, and especially comparison to East Alameda. You can see these 3 regions broken down. That shows us the what and the where. Let's talk about the when. Our timeline submission is our next tab over. So the RFQ was issued on April 2nd. April 15th was the remote pre-bid conference. There was a good showing for that. April 20th, the questions deadline. Again, those are due by email, and I'll show you where to email those. April 22nd, all of the answers will be published, so you'll have another couple of days to actually get your RFQ really put in order for the April 24th. Again, that's an email submission. April 27th is selection of finalists. May 4th is the proposed contract changes due from finalists. So there's a negotiation already built into this particular arrangement. The week of May 11th are finalist interviews. June 1st, the deadline or the goal to select a management company Board approval happens on June 17th, and then June through September will be the transition period from lender investor approval. July 1st, the projected contract date. September 1st will be the start date. Now, let's look at the scoring criteria. Our scoring criteria is brought to you by ScoreMyRFP.com, where you can upload your submission and get a clear idea in advance of how you'll score when the agencies look at your bids. A complimentary service supporting our property management firms in planning for housing for our communities. That's ScoreMyRFP.com. This is a qualifications-based, not a point-based scoring. AHA evaluates against pass-fail minimums in Appendix A, then picks finalists. No percentage weights until round 2. So these are pass-fail. 5 years of PM experience with 300-plus government-funded units. Pass-fail. 3 California client references. Make sure you're getting those. Licensed California real estate broker in good standing. Staff with 2+ years of PM experience. Adequate supervision and QC mechanisms. This is where firms are really going to be able to stand out from the rest of the pack. Home office with accounting and compliance staff. They're calling it out right from the get-go. Make sure that you've got the appropriate accounting and compliance staff for this particular bid. Electronic record keeping, PM software. They prefer Yardi. I believe they're currently on Yardi, and the incumbent is using Yardi as well. So that will be a Y-to-Y transfer, or should be a Y-to-Y transfer from the current standing FPI to the next property management firm. Insurance compliance, again, pass-fail. PSH experience, pass-fail. So if you have that PSH experience, make sure you're documenting it really well. TCAC, maximum experience points, 11+ projects is what they're looking for. And don't forget to fill out these regulation documents. They're really important in bids like this. And HCD, supportive housing management points. These are the last 2 that are evaluated. The rest of this is pass-fail. Firms demonstrating maximum TCAC and HCD experience points will have a significant advantage in round 2. There is no LBE or SBE preference points for this particular portfolio. We do see it from time to time in many others, but it's not here. Partial portfolio bids are accepted. Again, remember that 252 unit minimum. So who should bid? 6 gates to clear. Want to make sure you've got a California broker's license. No one's going to bid on this without it. 5 years managed affordable housing. So if you're a relatively new firm, you're going to have to prove 5 years experience and 300 government-funded units, including LIHTC. For any company who's considering on bidding on this and you're close to that 300 government funded, I'll tell you your competition for this has 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 units of government funded. So make sure that you're really supporting the other portions of the document if you're close on that 300. Of course, California-based is always preferred, at least in California. Let's take a look at the 3 people who run this procurement. Here's who matters. So contacts. Jack Geary is our first person. He's our gatekeeper. He's a property management consultant running the RFQ. All questions and submissions will go to Jack's email. He is not AHA staff. He's hired to manage the procurement. So keep an eye on that one. That's where all of those questions are going to go to, and that's who's going to, I assume, draft the response for each of those questions in addition to connecting with the client. Then we have Nancy, CC on all RFQ submissions and questions, internal AHA owner of the property management function, and Vanessa Cooper is kind of overseeing everything. Communication rules. These are printed very plainly in the RFQ, so make sure you're following them. AHA has explicitly asked bidders to limit informal communications with AHA staff and consultants. The pre-bid conference on April 15th at 1 p.m. is the primary Q&A channel. Additional questions may be emailed to Jack at CC Nancy. no later than 5 p.m. on April 20th. Answers to all questions will be circulated to potential proposers no later than 5 p.m. on April 22nd. There's some of the common practices for delivery, but it's always worth mentioning how we submit for this one. So let's go to that next tab, Submission Info. Delivery method. There are two ways to deliver this. Email to Jack and CC Nancy, or via Bonfire you can submit as well. This is a single PDF file preferred, all content in one document, all your appendices, any of your qualifications that you're going to include, to put them all in a single document for delivery. Due date is April 24th at 5 p.m. It's a hard deadline. They're not going to extend that deadline without extending that deadline for everyone. So make sure that you are aligned with that April 24th completion. Do not include a fee proposal in round 1 response. Fees are requested in round 2 from finalists only. So they're separating the fees from the information. When you get to round 2, you'll want to make sure that you are highlighting and reminding what key advantages your property management company has before you articulate your fees. Letter of interest on company letterhead signed by authorized signer must include a statement that the firm is not prohibited from managing property financed or assisted by HUD, the State of California tax credit, or other key funders. Receipt confirmation. AHA will confirm receipt within 24 hours. I strongly recommend turning this project in a little early just so that you can make sure that you've hit that deadline. Partial bids are accepted. It's 252 unit minimum. Bidders may propose to manage all or part of the portfolio. Subcontracting is permitted with AHA written approval. Any partner or subcontractor must be disclosed with name, location, and specific functions. So just make sure you detail that out. Underneath here, we've got this required response content. So this is what's going to help us break down that list of the things that we need to make sure that we're including in our submission. We have our submission checklist as part of it as well. So you can find those here on the website. Awarded's executive summary and intelligence brief are available for download in the documents section of the website. They cover the full bid analysis. So we see those here. Let me just show you what those look like. So here is the executive summary from Awarded. It details the document, currently 24 pages from them. This goes through each of these sections: bid recommendation, portfolio operational fit, scope of work, portfolio snapshot. Many of the things we've detailed today you can find in the executive summary from Awarded. Also, we've got this RFP intelligence brief. So the RFP intelligence brief talks about who's been managing it since, how it fits in the community, board and budget context. There's a lot of details here about the context in which the RFP gets offered. So you can find that here as well. All you need to do is go to the website for that episode, and in this documents tab, you can get this bid decision and RFP intelligence context research. Both documents are free. Just enter your email in the form and they'll arrive in your inbox. It'll actually take you over here where you can download them directly, so you don't have to wait. That's the opportunity, a genuine opening for management change on a portfolio that would anchor a California affordable housing firm for the next 5 years. The materials are here to help you decide at awardedcapital.com, and you can find this Alameda episode straight from our episodes page. I'm James Davis. This is Awarded Capital.